The New York Giants just got an avalanche of great news. Let's talk about it. My name is Paul. This is Big Apple Sports. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you very much. Take just a quick second, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button too to expand the reach of this video. I'm trying to build an awesome Giants community here. Every new person that subscribes, this community just gets even better. All right, so I promise you an avalanche of great news. I have a ton of it today. I don't even know where to start. I think what I'm going to start with is one of the very first things Joe Schoen said was, well, not necessarily one of the first things he said, but one of the most important things he said was talking about Jackson Dart's rookie contract. He recognized that the Giants are at an advantage having him on that rookie deal. And not just him. He said when you talk about a surplus at those positions, like premium positions, and what kind of those premium positions are going for on the open market, we have our young core pieces and we're at a huge advantage. Basically breaking down, it's a lot of words there from Joe Schoen, but what he's trying to say is like, we have some stars on this team like Jackson Dart, like Malik Neighbors, Abdul Carter, who in 3 or 4 years, 2 years probably for Malik Neighbors, these guys are going to be getting $30-40 million contracts. Dart might be getting 50 or 60 million. Like, these guys are going to get big time money. So right now, when they are on their rookie deals making small money, we have a huge advantage, and we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to fill out this roster, fill up that cap, and be aggressive. So I love hearing that from him. And speaking of Malik Neighbors, that was some of the other good news from today. Just being asked about him, Joe Schoen said that he expects him to be ready for training camp. Said he feels good, and the plan is hopefully for him to still be ready. He said, setbacks happen. Every single person's injury recovery is different. But right now, the plan is for him to be ready to go for training camp. And Neighbors posted some pictures himself, kind of intimating that he seems to think he's going to be ready for himself. So that is huge. Like, we keep talking about, man, the Giants need to get Dart a great receiving core for a year 2 breakout. And Neighbors is the guy. Like, we have the good receiving core if Neighbors is healthy. And if they bring back Wandale, I'll kind of get into that in a second. But the Giants have a legitimate bona fide star in Malik Neighbors. And there's been a lot of talk that he could miss half this season because his ACL was worse than people realized. So hearing that he's probably going to be ready for training camp, that is huge. Another bit of news that I was excited to hear was Joe Schoen saying that Kayvon Thibodeaux is not on the trade block. And I actually love exactly what he said about Kayvon Thibodeaux. I think it's perfect. He said right now he's going to be with us. He played well. He's going into his 5th year. He's motivated, and you can't have enough pass rushers. That's something I've talked on this show about many times. We just watched the Seahawks win because their pass rush ate the Patriots alive. The Patriots got to the Super Bowl because their pass rush ate C.J. Stroud alive and had a great postseason. Pass rushes win championships. We know this in Giants Nation. That's how we beat the Patriots twice. A great pass rush is huge. You can never have enough of them. But then I think the other thing with Kayvon, and this is what I've said too, is you can't let him walk for free. If you don't think you can pay him, you can't let him walk for free. You have to trade him. And so what I think is the perfect answer from Schoen is he admitted, we got a lot of calls for Kayvon at the trade deadline last year. And my job is if people call and they ask if we'd be interested in trading a player, we have to consider everything. That doesn't mean we're going to do it, but we're always going to listen. And that's what I want to hear from Joe Schoen right now. Because, I'm on the fence about Kayvon. Like I said, you can't have enough pass rushers, but you can't let them walk for free either. And it's hard to imagine the Giants are going to be able to pay Burns and Thibodeaux and all these other guys on the defensive line. But what I've hated seeing is all these trades are let's dump Kayvon for a 5th round pick. That's ridiculous. I'd probably rather see him walk for free at the end of the year and have a better defense this year than just get a 5th round pick for it. Like, so I hate this idea that he needs to be dumped for nothing. Like, listen to offers. If you get offered a 2nd round pick for him, yeah, you might want to take that, knowing it's going to be difficult to pay him. But I do love hearing that the plan is for Kayvon to stay for right now. He also talked about Dexter Lawrence. I loved hearing what John Harbaugh said about him. There's been people talking about maybe it's time to trade Dexter Lawrence after a tough year. So I loved hearing Harbaugh say, how important is he? He's really important. And then he went on a Harbaugh rant. He's super, super important. He's a cornerstone football player. Actually, not a cornerstone. He's like the middle stone, right in the middle, a very big stone. That's his Harbaugh rant. A very, very active, athletic stone. So you love hearing that he's already got the vote of confidence from the coaching staff. And I think this defensive line is going to be elite. And another thing Joe Schoen talked about in his press conference today is that, like, he admitted Dexter Lawrence's elbow was an issue last year, but he's got because he had the dislocated elbow in 2024. He's had a full off season now to get it better. Hopefully we see a different Dexter. He acknowledged, like, his 9 sacks in 2024 was probably an outlier. Like, nose tackles don't just get 9 sacks in a season. That is preposterous numbers. But he's like, but the great Dexter we know and love, he's in there. He's got a lot of good years left. It wasn't just him last year. I'm not putting it on him. But the expectation is for him to be on the team and to come back and have a really good season for us. So I love hearing that about Dexter Lawrence. Another thing I loved hearing is the possibility of a trade back. So Joe Schoen was asked about potentially trading back, and he, back to the, like, we're going to listen to all offers, and he said, he started by saying, like, they're in such a better place last year. They have so much more flexibility because of Jackson Dart. Like, last year at their meetings, they were like, all right, we need to take a swing on a quarterback. And now they can come in and know, like, we have our QB, we have our guy we can build around, and we can be flexible and have that, like, ability to trade back, maybe trade up at the end of the second, and really, like, have the potential to add more picks in this draft. So I saw a mock draft the other day that kind of mentioned what that could potentially look like. And it, like, if the Giants traded back from the 5th overall pick, this draft had them getting the 13th and 29th picks from the Rams, because they own the Falcons pick at 13, and getting both a star receiver in Mekhi Lemon and an offensive tackle in the 1st round. And then they have them trading back in the 2nd as well to get a 3rd round pick, bolstering that back 7 with a corner and a linebacker. So, like, the addition of Jackson Dart provides this front office with so much more flexibility this year. And then it's just awesome to see that they're willing to be, like, they know they're in that position and they're willing to be flexible. Maybe it's not a trade back all the way to 13. Maybe they're looking at the board and they're like, hey, some of these teams, 5, 6, 7, 8, they need pass rushers, they need offensive tackles, and we want Caleb Downs. Maybe they see the opportunity. They could add a 2nd or 3rd round pick, just moving back a couple spots, get the guy they wanted anyways, and add a pick, like an early day 2 pick on top of it. Like, there's so many possibilities for the Giants because of Jackson Dart, and I think they're going to absolutely crush it in this draft. Last piece of news that I really enjoyed seeing today was I like just hearing that they want Illuminor, they want Wandale, they want Cordell Flott back. Will they get them all back? That remains to be seen. But Harbaugh said they're all guys we want back. It's a good use, like, they're all a good use of resources. But you have to, obviously, some of it's going to depend on how much money they want, how much they're going to command on the open market. Like, you hear some of these price tags given to these players, and I don't know that the Giants could afford all 3 if they go for as much as some people are speculating. But I'm not sure that they're going to. If the Giants can get them at a good rate, I'd love to see all 3 of these guys back. Because I'm telling you, I know a lot of people want receiver in the 1st round, but if Neighbors is back for training camp and you have Neighbors, Wandale, I know a lot of people don't love Slayton, but he is what he is. And then you add like a Tyquan Thornton or a Hollywood Brown from the Chiefs, and maybe even draft like a 4th-round receiver to hopefully be what Jalen Hyatt was supposed to be. Like, this is a very good receiving group. Like, Wan'Dale had 1,000 yards. He was a top 20 receiver last year. Malik Neighbors is a top 5 receiver. Like, the two of them together, that is an elite group of receivers. And Illuminor did a good job at right tackle. It's just it's just fun to be excited about Giants football again. So many opportunities this offseason. I think there's going to be a bunch of more news coming out this week. The Combine is always a huge week in the NFL in terms of news, who's getting franchise tagged, who's on the trade block, which teams are eyeing which players. There's going to be tons of news, so don't miss out. I'm going to be keeping you up to date on all of that. So hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and I will catch you tomorrow with some more Giants content.